Okay, people seem to like these videos when they're done full length. I was surprised by the response to that. I thought that everybody complains about long videos, and that that would be onerous to have to sit through. But since I guess people like it, I'll do this full length. So this is sort of an overview of the new lapping technique. Before we jump into it, I just want to say, so I was doing experiments with the bore cutters, and I wanted to speed it up because it doesn't have to have the same level of consistency of depth because the BBs won't touch it. The bore groove cutters, that is. And so I actually tried, I know this was a hack, I bonded and then wrapped this this piece of the rod to this Sawzall blade to see if I could use that, and that didn't go so hot. So that may mean just that I need a stronger rod, but it didn't actually come close to working, so I'm a little bit dubious as to whether it will work at all ever like that. But that was just something. So yeah, I did try that, but that would only be applicable for the bore groove cutter, and even then, apparently not so much. So, first thing I'm doing here, just so I don't want to contaminate anything, because this barrel is quite shitted up. Just run this through, get anything out. This is actually, I'm probably going to dig this up and doing it. This is the last existing ZR hop that I'm aware of, which is not the Z kit. You can see it looks like hell. It's not the Z kit, it's the ZR hop, which was a hop generation. I had a video of it up, just showing the difference. It was just designed to be a zero tune installation. People who tested it said it was somewhere between a flat hop and an R hop in performance, which is unfortunate. I never really liked the way it went in, but then again, I never found a regular install that onerous. So I just didn't make it available. It was tested and discarded, as so many things are. So the new kit, or the new method. So you've got your bore lap, you've got your crown cutter, you got your alignment jig. So first thing we're going to do, because hopefully I'm probably going to have to get accelerant anyway. First thing we're going to do... Oh, good, the phone. First thing we're going to do is trim the little edges off. I guess we can trim them off of both. This just comes from the sprue that they come on. I want to murder whoever is calling. Normally I restart the video when the phone ruins the middle, but this will be so long I'm sure the phone will interrupt me at least once. So the problem with these is that the powder that they're made of gets underneath, and it's not abrasive, so it won't actually damage your bore, but it can interfere with the springs under there. So I sort of pinch down here on either side, so it tilts on either side of each spring, and just roll it between my fingers like this, and that gets it out. Hopefully I'm not blowing too much of it into my camera. I think it was a little dim of GoPro to design the mic system the way they did, but whatever. Okay, there we go. That's good. You can see if you do that, it readily rotates around there. So that should be all set. So now this, I have a version, this one's keyed to the square rod, because initially I thought people would want to do this Orga style, like on the Orga barrels, and drive it far down, which is why I thought the square rod would be perfect. You just key it to the back and stick it in. But seems like most of the desire to cut a crown is no deeper than this, and so so I have a version now that's out that's designed with a round shank that you can just directly cut in your drill, your lathe, your whatever, your drill press even. But this version I do not have yet. Nothing changed on it other than the shank, so it should be fine. But yeah, that's how things go. Okay. I just trim this a little bit because sometimes it needs some trimming. Sometimes also there's some residual in here. Just clean that up. Test fit. You can tell I've done this more than once. Yeah, what the hell is that? Okay. Yeah, that goes perfectly. Tapering the end there just helps to get it in nicely. Oh, this glue is gonna harden this bottle on me. I'm gonna be screwed. Okay, little bit. And stick it in. Rotate it. Make sure you've got all the surfaces good. Now let's go grab the accelerant. Stuff smells like ass. And leave that to do whatever it's going to do. Okay, so the crown. Let's see, we have that. We'll just keep that in my pocket. That way I don't have to find it next time. This is 40 micron diamond paste. I'm hoping I'm just going to get away with chucking it on the drill. Little bit. No big deal. Maybe a little bit more, actually. Okay. What did I just do with the cap? There it is. You can see why I don't understand why people like full-length videos. Yuck. Okay, clean that off my hands so that I'm not getting 40 micron diamonds all over everything. Of course, after you wipe anything off on a paper towel, it's then obligatory you wipe your hand on the seat of your pants. Let's see, I think that just the drill chalk will be enough here. Okay, and there's that. Do we have a broken piece? Before I do this, and to make myself look stupid, I'm going to take a little piece of this rod, just a scrap piece of the rod, and I'm going to jam it in the end of this thing, just so that I don't crush it when I chuck it. The other version, obviously, that's designed to do this is not hollow at the back, but, come on. Stupid wallet. In your pocket makes it difficult to insert your knife. I know, that's what she said. Ha ha ha, so clever and original. Okay. Alright. So you can see the important part, the part that needs to be covered on this, is are all these surfaces which are tapered. It's also important that that your lathe, what have you, rotates this way, so it's driving the diamonds and what have you ahead of it, rather than trying to draw itself into your barrel, which would be unfortunate. Okay, and you'll notice that there's a weak spot designed in right there, and that is designed to fail before you get to the point where you'd permanently stick one of these things in your barrel if you really ram it in there. So it's it is actually a safety feature. Somebody complained that why, is this breaking? You should design this stronger. I said, no, I deliberately designed it, or deliberately had it designed with that failure point right in there, because if it doesn't fail, if it won't fail, you're setting yourself up to do something much worse. I'd rather have a lap that's worth a couple bucks fail than ruin a barrel. Okay. Smidge of cutting lubricant. I think this is motor oil. Probably. I don't know. It's whatever you have around. Not strictly necessary with this, but because this stuff, the oil-based diamond compound, is already lubricating. But, it doesn't really hurt, and it's nice. Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. Can't quite shake that feeling. Okay. So, and this is another little trick I've developed, partially out of laziness perhaps, is that your barrel gets hot while you're doing this, and so if you just saturate some towel, give that a quick drip, and give it a quick wrap around. That's way more than I needed. Whatever. It'll act as a big ugly heat sink. There we go. Ideally you'd do this in the reverse. You'd clamp the barrel and hold the drill, but this will be fine. So, ear pro, eye pro, all that good shit, kids. Low speed. Just run it nice and easy. So we can see, if we look here, we've actually taken a fair bit of brass off, and you can again see here from the swirlies we are cutting. You're slowly working your way up. I'm going to do this relatively shallow because this takes a bit of time, and I don't want to make you sit through all of it. And also, normally you'd work this down through the grits, but again, trying to do this in some reasonable amount of time. I don't think YouTube would let me upload a severely long video, and I don't think anybody would sit through it, so we're doing this quasi full length, I guess. Anyway, you can see this is warm to the touch certainly, but the water is keeping it from heating up too much, which is important. How are we doing? Do we need a little more? May need a little more compound here. Should be in one of these pockets. I thought. No, I left it over here. Okay. What the hell? Don't come out on me. That's not nice. Okay. And here we go. We can see again we're taking stuff off. It's turning from black of just the first layer to the gold of you've reached a lot of shit. It is warming up, as you can feel. Again, this is why you apply lubricant. It helps keep things cool. And this whole paper towel, which was cold, is less cold. I feel it's important to mention it's a little bit dangerous to do it this way, because if this tool rips this out of my hands, it's going to start helicoptering around. So you really probably should clamp the barrel and work it from the drill end, but I'm doing it like this. Or I could have chucked this in the tailstock and advanced it. Speaking of which, could have chucked this in the tailstock and advanced it, but whatever. Still going. You can see it's still cutting. We're making progress here. Still making progress. I'm not even close to what I would call done yet. I can still run this much deeper, but I'm debating how much longer I want to make you all sit and watch me do this. How warm are we? Warm. I'll keep going for a little bit, and then we'll get into the other tech. I suppose I can always just put links down in the description so people can skip ahead. So, keep going. If I run out of batteries though, then I'm really schnookered, so... Okay, I can run it the full length right now, so it is still cutting, but I'm going to go ahead and say that we've cut it deep enough. We can feel the barrel here is quite warm, and it's been enlarged. You can see the lap was originally tight fit. Now it's not. So yes, we have slightly increase the bore diameter. Again, this shallow crown is not meant to increase the bore diameter by a lot, just a very little bit, just to create that same effect that that Orga is claiming. And it was originally developed as just a test item, just so users could see if it was Orga's precision manufacturing or if it was in fact their enhanced crown. That's what was doing it. Okay, pull this off. I stuck the paper towel. There I go. I stuck the paper towel in my back pocket. Okay. Just to show you that a lot of crap is going to come out of here. Oh, actually, I should do that after, because that doesn't have a dry time. So, this is a quick lap. Let me get... We're still recording here? Yeah, it's still flashing. That's good. So here's just a little oil I'm going to use as another type of cutting oil. So this is the stuff that I put... how did this get in the trash? Whatever. This is the stuff that I formulated, that I put on. Because of its design, it doesn't actually... Is this alright stuff? Yeah, because of its design, it doesn't actually come off and need to be reapplied in the same way that that the oil-based ones do, which is a little convenient, at least in my opinion. But you gotta shake it. You gotta do it right. So then you just... Yeah, this one's almost empty. Okay. Alright. So that has successfully done that. And can just sort of dry here for a minute. I forget what I used. I think I used isopropanol in that one. What does it smell like? Oh, it smells like accelerant. That's what it smells like. Maybe I don't know. I've got so many test batches of everything going around. You just gotta look at the label. It doesn't matter. If I used isopropanol, it should evaporate very quickly. If I used regular solvent, alcohol, methylated spirits, what have you, it will probably evaporate a little more slowly. These bottles may or may not tolerate propanone, so I haven't actually tried it in them yet. But, you know, it's whatever. So let's see what this looks like. Yuck. So that, just to show you, is the shit that was taken off, crowning it. And there's actually a fair bit of it there. Here's one of the antiquated bore laps. You can see all this material is... There you go. Oil and cut stuff and whatever. Okay. Not sure how visible this will be to the camera, but there it is. That's that. Nice swirls. Better than the rest of the barrel, which is full of shit, but that's a different story. We're about to fix that. So looking down this barrel, generally if you can see something in your barrel, that means that there's a lot of something, because the way light reflects across in there, it's really hard to see anything in your barrels by looking down them. This one, it seems like, has some major spots. No surprise, this thing's been sitting around here. The outside's been coated in wax to make it shiny. The bore has apparently not. So how's this drying? Not as well as I'd like, is the short answer. Well, okay. Maybe I used something wrong. I could go get a heat gun. Fine. I'll warn you against using heat guns on things like this, because you can damage all kinds of things with heat guns. But, if you know what you're doing, you can do whatever you want. Or at least claim that you can do whatever you want until familiarity breeds contempt and then you fuck yourself. But, you know, good times. Don't know if you guys noticed that I did a stupid there and I heated it too much, just as I said you shouldn't do. And it softened the SLS nylon, which is of course made via heat sintering, so don't do that, kids. Alright. So the next step with this technique, insert your alignment jig over here. And in my preferred method, get a little tape. And so this is why we did the crowning. You then tape over the front of your barrel. Why? You'll see in just a second. Okay. Let's hope that stays. The outside of this barrel, like I said, is a little waxy. Okay. Maybe it wasn't years. Did I say years when I said, sorry, did I say years when I said ZR Hop? How long has it been? Apparently I have amnesia too. Okay, so because this compound doesn't contain significant lubricative properties, let's just put a smidge of oil on these lapping surfaces, which will allow it to slip more easily in there. Just a small fix, really. Okay. Alrighty then. This is just household 3-in-1 oil. It's nothing special. So, stick it in. Don't be too stubborn. And there we go. Okay, so now that's in. We stick the alignment jig on and drive it down. And that's, now you feel you're at the end. So now you can go back and forth. Don't be sticky. Quickly. I really should have done this with one of the better lubricated things. But anyway, you get to go back and forth like this. You go all the way one way, and all the way the other. That way you're consistently lapping the whole thing. You can see, you come back to here. Every once in a while, you have to rotate it. And you have to rotate it in order to make sure you're not cutting anything, any pattern into the bore. No, don't. Bad panel. This bore actually feels relatively tight because this lap is getting a little sticky in here, but you can see, actually what I should do is tape on this alignment jig and just do a whole bunch and then rotate, but whatever. You can see it gets progressively easier as you go. Every time you're on video, that's the end. Every time you're on video, your life seems to get measurably more difficult. Anyone else notice that? Oh good, the phone again. Well, I guess I don't need to rotate it, but what the hell? So at this point, it's quite easy. And just to give you an idea of the progress here, you can see the lap has already picked up a significant amount of crap from the barrel. And you'll recall that I cleaned it after doing that, so it's not like I'm cheating and picking up crap from the lathe. And yeah, so this is just how it goes. I'm thinking this is going to be broken down into different kits for different users. And I'm thinking I might need to include these, ideally I should not be pulling this out actually, which means when I get towards the end I should be using one hand. But I might need to include, when I come out with the kits, the crown enhancers, because they just make this technique so much easier when you can just do this. Ow. Come on, don't stick. And that's kind of a godsend. Did I make that all the way? Yeah, I did. Huh.